September 7th of 2022. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we start tonight, I'd like to just announce that our next commission meeting on September 21st has been canceled. All three of us will be at a meeting, and so we're going to cancel our September 21st commission meeting. The next meeting will be October 5th. Item number 1 on our agenda is approval of minutes from our August 17th meeting.
I reviewed, I saw no changes.
I didn't either. I'll make a motion to approve as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 2 is Employee of the Month, Kellie Payne.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm actually filling in for Kellie Payne today. She is out. So I'm excited to present our September 2022 Employee of the Month as Chad Allred. Chad has been employed with Carbon County since February of 2010 in our janitorial department. Chad was actually nominated by our tourism specialist, Tina Grange. So I would like to go ahead and invite Tina and Chad both up here and give them the opportunity to speak with you guys.
Thank you, Courtney.
Oh my gosh, this dude, seriously, when I say he's the sweetest, most helpful person, that is truly what Chad is. He never complains, even after returning to work after having back surgery. He's still always, if I'm lifting heavy boxes or I'm moving things, he's like, hold on, I'll be right back. I'll help you with that. Do you want me to get these boxes? So I will say, if you work in a place, you need a Chad. And if you don't have a Chad, I feel really bad for you. He is the sweetest person and the most helpful. Like I said, never complains. I mean, so many people complain in their jobs. Chad is not one of those. He's always just a positive person. My favorite thing is that he always calls me Miss America, which I love so much. And my even more favorite is when we are going to have a holiday off, like on a Monday. He loves to come in and say, you know what, you've been working so hard. I'm going to give you an extra day off this week. And he does that to everyone, and we love Chad. So congratulations, Chad, and you definitely deserve it.
I'm surprised, Chad, you didn't have anything to say or any stories, so.
Come up, get your picture taken. Congratulations, Chad. Thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
Chad's a super employee. We appreciate him. Item 3 is our Super Service Award, Tina Grange.
Okay, so I am just going to read the nomination. So Alfredo works in the kitchen at the Balanced Rock Eatery. Every plate he sends out is meticulously made with love and care, not only for his customers, but for the love of cuisine. Even though he's very busy, anytime he gets a chance, he'll run out to the dining room to say hi to customers, shake their hands, and ask them how their food is, and always with a big, inviting smile on his face. Alfredo is a real example of putting in the effort and hard work. So our September Super Service Award goes to Alfredo Guzman with the Balanced Rock Eatery in Helper. Thank you. So this is your certificate and then some gift certificates for you to use. Do you want to say anything? Go ahead.
My English kind of okay.
It's perfect.
I want to say thank you, everybody, and I'm here, Balance Rock, for everybody, making happy food. Yeah.
We love their food.
Thank you, thank
Yep.
you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
She
you.
wants a picture with you.
Thank you, Alfredo.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
And I'll just stay up here.
Item number 4 is review and possible approval of a memorandum of understanding between Carbon County and the Utah Office of Tourism for the 2022 co-op grant.
Me again.
Okay.
Hello. Thanks for having me. So this is just our MOU for our new grant award that we received from the Utah Office of Tourism. And basically it outlines how much we received, $40,375. And then it just lists what each responsible party is. So the Utah Office of Tourism pledges in the partnership to provide a 75% of the approved amount upon signature of the MOU and an invoice from our office. The other 25% will be paid upon completion of the project with all the required reports. And then our position, the Carbon County Office of Tourism, will comply with all of the guidelines. In the event that we make any changes, we have to make sure that we run those past the Utah Office of Tourism first. Any projects that has any logos or anything, they ask that we get prior approval before putting those out to the public or publication. And then we will provide them with any vendor invoices and a final written report within 90 days of the completion of the project. And then that's when we'll receive the 25%. So.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions. There's another part to this. One of the vendors that this grant was applied for will be on our next commission meeting. We just wanted to do a little bit more homework on what the service is and how we're going to use it, but that'll be part of this data collection. That's part of this grant. So.
No, I think it's great. And if there's no other comment, I would go ahead and make a motion then that we approve the memorandum of understanding between the Carbon County and the Utah Office of Tourism for the 2022 co-op grant.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And while we have you up here,
I'll just stay.
you've had some interesting conversations. You've met some movie stars, shall we just say,
Yeah.
recently
Yeah, we're like
some
brother
were-
and sister.
in this area right now. Maybe if you could speak to that, tell us kind of an update of what's going on.
Yeah, so Carbon and Emery County have just been given a wonderful opportunity to work with Kevin Costner and his production team with the movie that he's filming down in Fuller's Bottom in Emery County. And, you know, we're getting a lot of economic impact from that just on the lodging part of it. And so I've been working very closely with their accommodations team and just want to really just share some of the thoughts that were shared with me today. I'm realizing now it's not a very easy business. It's very stressful to make a movie, but more stressful when things don't always turn out like you planned them. But with that being said, there has been some hiccups. But the person that I've been working with on the accommodations team reached out to me today. And so I thought it was just really exciting to announce publicly the great things that she had to say about Carbon County. And she said, hats off to you, Carbon County. She said, you guys are doing it right. Your partners have been absolutely amazing. Even with all of the changes, no one's complained or shown frustration. So this is a shout out to our lodging partners here in Carbon County. One local hotelier even took her laptop and went in to the room with the accommodations team at our hotel last night and worked until 11:30 last night trying to work out some of the kinks. And so we do have amazing people in our county. And she said, and it shows definitely in the work that they're doing here. So this is aside from Kevin and all the movie star stuff, the behind the scenes people that are making everything happen so that Kevin can make his movie here. They're just very impressed. And so just a shout out to everyone and grateful for everyone working so hard on this project. So.
I just got to say too that Tina's being a little bit modest in what she's saying because Tina has worked very hard at making sure everything's perfect and helping them. And it's not small either. This isn't 10 or 20 rooms. This is hundreds of rooms across Carbon and Emery counties. We almost didn't have enough rooms, and Tina has worked tirelessly to make sure that she's connecting them with the right folks, and not just on accommodations, but also finding the right types of horses and corrals and equipment to put bridges across little gulches and stuff so that they can do all the filming and everything that they're doing. Tina's worked very hard with these folks she should get into the credits.
I was going to say, on our commission too, that's you guys. Like, if I haven't been able to answer a question, I mean, it's been great to be able to reach out to you guys, especially with the resources and the connections that you have. So, yeah, it's really exciting. So we hope for when the movie comes, everybody will buy tickets and go watch it. But in the meantime, it's just a great opportunity for our communities to have this being done here. And I wish that I could say that I have Kevin Costner's number on my cell phone, but I don't. But I do know all his people. So if that counts for anything, I will see him though tomorrow, and I will tell him that Carbon County definitely appreciates him being here, and when we send all of our love and gratitude to his team. So.
And also, if I could add too, real quick, with some of the work that you've done with the Film Commission, with some of the stuff that the state's done with taxing and allowing rural areas to develop filming, we also have another film crew coming out to North Springs. Maybe you could hit on that real quick.
Yeah, so I had, I don't have the name in front of me because I know I was going to talk about it, but one of the top outdoor sportsmen's groups that have reached out, and they make long range shooting rifles. And he reached out to me because they want to film their promo video and their commercial videos at our local North Springs. He said that he would rank North Springs shooting range top 3 in the country. He's been here before. And anyway, so because of all the things that we're doing with filming, he's able to fill out a request to film there, which then we passed on to Commissioner Martinez and Glenna over at the event center, and so they're assisting him in his efforts, and that'll be another short film, nothing like a big motion picture. But I did tell Commissioner Hopes today, if we get anything bigger than Kevin Costner, we're going to need more hotels for sure, because everything's booked this week everywhere. So I'm sorry if you're coming and there's no place for you to stay. I did say I have a motorhome that sleeps 7, and I have 2 spare bedrooms at my house. So we can make it work if you guys can't find anywhere to rest.
Thank you for all you do. She should get the Super Service Award next month. Okay, item 5 is a ratification and possible approval of the Rural County Grant contract between the State of Utah, Governor's Office of Economic Development, and Carbon County. I might explain this one. We receive from the Governor's Office of Economic Opportunity a grant of $200,000. We received it last year and a little less than that the year before, but this money is used in helping local businesses in expansion. And there's a board that's been appointed to oversee that money, and so there's an application process for local businesses to apply for those funds, and the businesses come in with a plan of how they're going to spend some money for expansion that would increase the value of the business properties as well as hire additional employees. And so that if someone came in and asked for, or had say they had $100,000 project and they asked for some help, this grant money could match up to half of the amount of money they spend to reimburse them some. So the program's worked well. Over the last 2 years, there's been 85 additional employees employed in Carbon County from the program, so it's a valuable one. But as the contract came, we went ahead and signed it to move forward so we could get the money. So that was signed a week ago, and we just need to ratify that approval of that contract.
I think it's a great program, and I'll make a motion to ratify the signing of the contract between the State of Utah, Governor's Office of Economic Development, and Carbon County.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Lori, we probably just need to make a change that development, it actually should be opportunity. The governor's office changed the name of their program. Item 6, Miss Carbon County, introduction of the new royalty.
Thank you for having us today. I'm Kylie House, the director of the Miss Carbon County Scholarship Organization. Our organization is a scholarship and service-based pageant program. The organization exists to provide personal and professional opportunities for young women to promote their voices and talent in their community. Our organization focuses on service, scholarships, being a role model, morals and values, goal setting, and becoming your best self. Our goal is to provide positive opportunities for the young women of our community to help them build life skills, improve self-confidence, and learn the value of service. Today, we'd like to have each of our new royalty members introduce themselves and talk a little about their plans for the year of service. So we'll start with Legacy and just go up to Emily.
I'm Legacy Taylor. I'm the mini Miss Carbon County. I'm looking forward to this year is to go on all the pretty floats in the parade. Hi, I'm your guys' new little Miss Carbon County, Darby Montgomery. I'm looking forward to going on floats with my pageant sisters and meeting new people from the community. Hi, my name is Ayana Lee, and I am your Junior Miss Carbon County 2023. My service project is called Stand Up for Kindness. Too many times I have seen and heard people doing unkind things to others. As someone who has experienced the feeling of being unwanted and bullied for being too different, it makes me sad to hear that kids in my school and community are going through similar, if not worse, situations. My plan is to visit our local schools and read them a book from a local author, Cami Carlson, and talk about the importance of showing kindness through small acts, to bring awareness about different types of bullying, and to use your words as a tool to stand up for what's right. My goal is that everyone I meet will remember 3 things: to have courage and be kind, to be inclusive of everyone, and to be a buddy, not a bully. Together, we can all stand up for kindness. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cameron France, and I'm your Miss Teen Carbon County for 2023. I am so excited for this year, and I can't wait to be able to serve with my cute new royalty sisters. One of the things I am most excited for is to implement my platform called Remember to Love. Remember to Love is inspired by my great-grandma, Theresa Franson. She did so much for our community in her 88 years of life, and that included the beautification of Carbon County, and she played an important role in the Castle Valley Center. I believe that her and many others people's stories deserve to be told, and that is really what my platform is all about, is finding the stories about the people and the places and the traditions that made Carbon County what it is today. And my biggest focus is on the seniors because I love them so much, and I want to help others find that same admiration for them, because we wouldn't be here if it weren't for what they've done. And I am so excited to be able to go to many care centers and senior centers in Carbon County and find those stories and talk to them, and then take those stories and bring them to kids at schools and make kindness cards for our seniors with them and post those stories on social media as well. And I'm just so excited to be able to serve and also be able to represent Carbon County at Miss Utah's Outstanding Teen. And I just want to say thank you so much for all that you guys do for us.
Hi, I'm your new Miss Carbon County, Emily Elliott. I am here to just let you know that this is our new royalty, and we are super excited to start serving with you guys for the year. I want to implement my platform called Keep the Beat, Move Those Feet, and it's for heart health and fitness because people need to get out, they need to get active. I love going on hikes. I want to get the community out. I know that's something that we strive for here. We have deserts, we have mountains, we have lakes, we have everything in between. I also want to partner with some of the local gyms and get them more business and get people involved in that because I love Fierce MMA and Fitness and they're amazing, and I just want to bring more community support to them as well. Thank you guys for having us as your Miss Carbon County Royalty this year. Sorry, I lost my spot. Oh, okay. So for my platform, I also want to do a car smashing event sometime where we get some old junker cars and we beat them up with hammers, and it gets people out, it gets them active. It also helps with their mental health, which I know is a big thing this year and in years prior. So yeah, if we can just continue with your guys' support, we would love that. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. We're so excited for the upcoming year and can't wait to see what they do with this opportunity. Also at this time, we would also like to request the allotted scholarship funds for the pageants that will be held in August of 2023, so next year. And those will be awarded to our royalty crowned in 2023, so next August. In the past, the commissioners have set aside $1,500 scholarship for the Miss Carbon County Royalty and a $400 for the Miss Teen Royalty, for a total of $1,900 donated to the Miss Carbon County organization. We would greatly appreciate the continued support towards the education of young women in our community, if you would like to discuss that.
First of all, thank you all for coming, and
Of course.
you're beautiful young ladies. Really have a good group representing the county and in lots of ways throughout the coming year. So thank you for coming and speaking. And
I don't know, it'll be a tough decision. We'll have to decide. I don't know.
I guess I have to maybe just declare or say that Cameron is my niece, so any vote here does have that weight on it. So
I'll make a motion then that we go ahead and fund them for next year. So,
I'll step down and second it. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
and I'll abstain.
Thank you. Thank you again for having us, and please reach out to us for any projects or service activities that the royalty can be involved in, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck this year. Item 7 is the Castle Country Stock Show. We've got these kids that raised animals.
My name is Walker Hyatt. I show lambs and goats each year. We just wanted to come and report on our show and let you know what your donations helped provide for us, for all of us. In total, we had 106 contestants and 153 animals. We are excited to add a Pee Wee showmanship class this year, and we had a great turnout.
My name's Daisy Patcher, and I show goats and pigs. So we gave away 58 buckles, and all the entry fees went right back to the kids as prize money. So we were able to hire an awesome young judge from Wyoming, and he was really great to every kid by giving advice and answering any questions that any kid had to help them become better showmen.
My name is Jerry Thatcher, and like we say, we had over 100 youth from Carbon and Emery County come to our stock show. Carbon County commissioners were on 4 of our buckles that we gave away this year, and the older kids received a hat and a shirt, and the Pee Wee kids received a bag and a shirt, and we also had temporary tattoos and bracelets that we gave out to every kid. And we just want to really thank you guys. We wouldn't be able to put this show on without you guys, so just thank you for your support.
You're welcome.
Do I want to ask what those temporary tattoos were? Were they animals? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good thing.
they had all those stock show animals on them.
Cool. Very cool.
So.
Yeah, and I actually attended that over in Farron. That was great. So thank you for the effort and you leaders who help with it. It's good for these kids to have things to do. Learn how to work. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The only thing I would add is just that between the last two items, if people look and understand that the bright future that we have in Carbon County, these are just some of the wonderful kids and the amazing things that they're accomplishing. And this is just two of those events, and we have multiple more. We have a bright future with talented youth. So
Thanks for coming. Item 8 is consideration and possible approval of agreement to provide criminal public defense representation between Carbon County and William Melton. Lynn, do you know what that one's about? Oh,
Robert's here.
Robert's here. Come on up, Robert.
How are you guys?
Great.
Well, how are you?
Good. So I came just to answer any questions about this item. I know Commissioner Hopes probably knows a little bit about it, but essentially the IDC, we applied for some additional grant money this year to comply with the IDC principles. And the IDC is the Indigent Defense Commission. They help us fund our indigent defense system here in Carbon County. To comply with their principles, they awarded us some additional money this year to hire another attorney to take a portion of the caseload that I currently have. The idea is to free up some additional time for me to establish a managing defender position here in Carbon County. The money would be $70,000 per year. It's completely funded by the IDC. The only thing the county would have to do is reimburse. Would get reimbursement. We would bill the county, or William Melton would bill the county per month, and then the county would get reimbursement from the IDC, and it would be 100% reimbursed.
I think this has been a great program. We've worked with the IDC for what, 5-6 years now?
5-6 years, yeah.
Five or 6 years now, and it's really helped us to improve our ability to provide these services for those that need them. I think it's been a great program.
The idea is to get more of a system here rather than more of just certain attorneys handling certain jobs. We're trying to get more of a concrete system in the county. So,
And if you could too, just as far as the Indigent Defense Fund, is that a high requirement for this area or a high need? Do you see a lot of that for this area? And are the numbers changing?
The numbers are fairly high, and they typically go up. That's partially the reason for the additional position here, is because our cases filed, charges here are kind of bad news, but yeah, they go up. So it's a heavier caseload.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I guess while we're on this, the CJ, or Criminal Justice
Council, right?
County Council?
County Council.
Something like that. The CJCC or whatever it is also asking the counties to put together a committee.
Correct.
That would address some of these issues. We've already had several conversations, and we've talked about the opioid settlements and the money that would be coming here. But part of this process is also trying to figure out how to lower the recidivism rate, and get people the resources that they need, whether it's for drug addiction or alcohol addiction or any other problems. Maybe it's homelessness or whatever that's causing them to be in and out of the jail system. And this council will be set up to try and lower those numbers, and work with the state on better reporting, but also coming forward with some answers to what we can do, whether that's drug court or whatever else.
Correct.
So
yeah. That's one of the other things that we're in the process of doing. Yep, that council.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll go ahead and make a motion then to approve the agreement to provide criminal justice defense representation between Carbon County and William Melton.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Robert.
Item 9 is consideration and possible approval of the responsible alcohol service plan for the Carbon Events and Recreation Complex.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm just here to talk about our responsible alcohol service plan. I have to look at that, make sure I get it all in the right order. So we recently had an audit from the DABC, and everything went really well. We had all of our T's crossed and I's dotted, and it was all good. They recommended that you have a responsible service plan in place. We did have one in place from some time ago, but we just wanted to do some housekeeping and update it and make sure we're up to snuff. So this just ensures that we as managers and our employees are following the laws, Utah's liquor laws, and that it kind of sets forth our in-house policies. And there's 2 pages here. I'm sure you have it to review, but it just has, you know, some of our own in-house policies like carding. We card everyone versus, you know, instead of carding if they look under 35, we just card everyone, just things like that. So it has some of our in-house policies, and then as well as it has how we plan to have our employees and like our bartenders and servers adhere to the Utah liquor laws.
And this is for the event center.
Yes.
For when there are different events out
Yep.
there, weddings, the NRA, Friends of the NRA banquet was just out there, kind of those examples. So the state does require that all agencies that serve alcohol go through and have what they call a RASP set up. Just some standards just to make sure that everybody's following, make sure that underage kids are not served alcohol, people are not served too much alcohol.
For sure.
And just following those state guidelines. So I take my hat off to Glenna and to Aubrey that they're trying to get these things updated and proper and just kind of following the state code as we should. So appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I'll make a motion to approve the responsible alcohol service plan for Carbon County Events and Recreation Complex.
And I'll second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thanks, Aubrey.
Yep, thanks. Item 10, consideration and possible sale of surplus property, parcel 01-2079-000, located at 370 South, 100 West in Price. We had a request for this parcel of property that was struck to the county a few years ago, and so we just need to make a decision whether we want to sell it, and if we do, how do we want to do it?
Okay. It looks as if there's 3 parcels with the same number, and I'm guessing we're selling all 3 parcels.
To me, it looks like it's a house and then just the back, it's got a deep backyard.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, there's no home on it. It's a vacant lot, but there are 3 parcels broken out there, but they all appear to be one building lot.
I think it's wise that the county not hold on to these parcels. If somebody wants to purchase, build a home on it, I think that'd be great. My disposition is that we sell it. We need to determine how to do so. We haven't received any offers on this parcel yet, have we?
No, it was just a request to see if we were interested in selling.
I'm interested. I think putting it back on the tax rolls, this would be property where if it goes back on the tax rolls, it helps to lower the rates for everyone else. Not by a lot, but
Hey, every little bit helps. And housing is something that we need around here, so
absolutely.
one at a time.
The parcels that the county has disposed of in the last few years, we've usually advertised those in the paper that it is for sale and had a bid, I guess, or a proposal that's turned in by a certain date, and then we open those here in the commission meeting and award based off of that. There were 4 different ways we could sell properties. We could just negotiate. We could turn it over to a real estate company to do it. So there were a few different options, so.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on how you want to do it?
I'm okay with the bid process of advertising it and just see who's willing to put in an offer on it, and let that go to the highest bidder.
I'm good with that as well.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll go ahead and make a motion then that we sell parcel number 01-2079-0000 and have it set up for accepting the highest bids for that parcel.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
So
We'll just have to put that in the paper. We'll work with Jeannie and get that advertised. Item 11, request by Elaine Bowman to address the commission.
I brought some pictures with me.
Thank you.
Okay, that means me and my husband, we are here to ask for your help in a matter that really concerns us. And I want to thank you in advance for your consideration and help with this. Carbon County has an ordinance right now that states that an animal cannot be housed, corralled within 75 feet of an existing dwelling. And I've lived at the current house I'm in for 46 years. My grandfather homesteaded this property, and I love being there a few minutes outside of town to enjoy the fresh air. But my quality of life is really being threatened by my neighbor of 20 years, Mike Tryon. Mike has 5+ acres of land, and he borders my property on the south. He's had a horse in the bottom of the acreage for the last, I'd say probably a couple of years. And now it's his plan to move this horse just 30 feet from my house, our house. I'm very alarmed because we all know animals poop and it stinks. And I'm concerned that not only the outside air is going to stink, but is the heating going to draw in that stench also? Well, I called zoning, and he told me that the ordinance says that it's 75 feet from the existing dwelling. And then I talked to him about a week later, and he told me that it would be too hard to enforce that in Carbon County, and that they would change the definition of what a corral is to a pasture so that they didn't have to enforce this ordinance. And I asked him who had made this decision, and he told me the commissioners, which I'm assuming all 3 of you, himself, and the sheriff. Well, then I called Commissioner Jensen on about June 23rd, and I told him my side of the story. And I really appreciate you guys hearing my side of the story because I'm an individual and I have my side of the story also. And I was told about the same story by Larry, that it would be too hard to enforce this in Carbon County, so that they would change the definition of what a pasture is. And I also asked him who had made this decision, and I was told once again it was Todd from zoning, the commissioners, and the sheriff. Well, time passed and things haven't gotten better, and I called Sheriff Wood just to talk to him. And I said, please tell me what you know so that I'm not repeating and wasting your time. And he told me that he had not heard a word about this, that he had never been involved in any conversation, yet I was told that he was part of the decision-making party. So I don't understand why I was told an untruth there. I am really being violated as a taxpayer. I like to open my doors and windows. I try to live a very healthy lifestyle, eat healthy and be healthy. And breathing animal poop is not healthy. I like to go and sit on my swing. This animal will be 30 feet. If I had my tape measure, from me to that wall is about 30 feet or really close. Do you guys agree with me? I hope I'm not telling a lie.
Yeah.
That's just too close to have an animal there pooping. This would really impact my quality of life. To not open a door, to not be able to go outside, to not be able to breathe the fresh air that God gives to everyone. And again, I ask myself, why does he want to put this 30 feet from my house when he's got 5 acres, you know? Some of the other things that's happened with this, it's getting kind of ugly. I had some trees that kind of bordered our land, and he told my husband that he was going to trim some of those branches that were overhanging the fence. We came home from an outing, and he had pretty much butchered the 3 trees. On my pictures, you can see he cut over my fence line, 27 inches, and trimmed branches off my trees. And I called the cops about it. Rick Adams investigated, and he said that Mike had made the comment that he doesn't know why we were upset because the horse is just going to eat those trees all up anyway. That really concerns me, that he has no respect or courtesy for my property. I also have burning bushes, and you can see they are nowhere near the fence line. I know that horse will lean over and devour those. Mike said that he's going to put up a 7-foot fence. You can see the pictures of the post. They measure under 62 inches. That's 2 feet short of a 7-foot fence. I'm allergic to horsehair. Having a horse 30 feet from my home is not going to improve my health whatsoever. You know, and many years ago, I offered to buy that narrow strip of land between our house and his so that no animals could be placed there. And Mike was married to Lori at the time, and they said, we don't want to sell it, but we don't want stinky animals in there either. We don't want them in our backyard. So that's kind of where that went. And then to make matters worse, he's put in a big old rusty gate. If he moves that big old horse, you've seen the horse feeding I took a picture of, and the big old metal trough, and place it right there along the road with my house right there, it's just going to devalue my property. It's going to bring in flies. That water trough is going to breed mosquitoes. And again, why is this 30 feet from my house? This is turning into a corral, in my opinion, instead of a pasture. I contacted a lawyer up north. He told me there's a nuisance act. And I'll just have a little quote here what that is. A nuisance is anything that is injurious to health, indecent, offensive to the senses, or an obstruction to the free use of property, so as to interfere with the comfortable enjoyment of life or property. This to me is a nuisance, a definite nuisance. On August 17th, I got a call from Sheriff Wood, and he told me that he was turning this situation over to zoning, or to the county attorney to make a decision what to do. And he asked him to please give us a call, hear our side of the story, and tell us what can be done. It's been 3 weeks today, and I'm still waiting for that phone call. Disappointed that I haven't at least got a phone call or a follow-up or anything. You know what? As a citizen who's concerned about my health and my home, I just want to petition, please don't change that ordinance. Please don't say that a pasture is where a horse can be 30 feet from a house. That's only this far, guys. Would you want that by your house? Thank you for hearing me, and I hope that we can reach a satisfactory decision.
Thank you. Let's see, here's your pictures too. I'll give them back to you. Thank you for bringing those. Well, two things. Todd, why don't you help us understand a little bit about the definition of a corral, and I think in some ways this is part of the dilemma that we face in the county. whether this is a corral or a pasture.
So the way a corral is defined in our code is a fenced area typically for confining horses and other hoofed animals. So when Ms. Bowman first called and went through the definition, reading through it, going, a fenced area typical for confining horses or other hoofed animals. So at the first look, a fenced area, and that's, I told her it's got to be a fenced area, but also the other part for confining. So anything in the county, then if it's a fenced area, would be considered a corral. So the reality with the corral is it's got to be used to confine the animal, to restrict its movement. So any area that's fenced, whether it's a small pen or hundreds of acres, if we take that definition, would be a corral. So looking at it saying, hey, with a corral, when one of the permitted uses is barns, stables, corrals, pens, coops, and other buildings for the care and keeping of domestic livestock, provided that no such facility shall be located closer than 75 feet to an existing dwelling and not less than 100 feet from any drainage canals. So where we have barns, stables, corrals, pens, coops, other areas that are to, restrict animals that could build up manure and other waste would be an issue. An area where if a horse or a cow or anything has a larger area to roam, wouldn't be considered a corral, would be a pasture area. So where Mr. Tryon's space is, roughly is going to be 16,000 square feet. So it's not an area that's using to confine a horse. So he could have, my view, he could have a horse there. We have other places throughout the county that people have horses that are in pastures that are, within 75 feet of homes. So the direct enforcement of it, saying any fenced area, would basically eliminate anyone in the county from having any type of horses within their property. So if you do have something that's restrictive, a corral that does create a problem, then those need to be located, 75 feet away from a home. But just a fenced area where horses can roam or other large animals wouldn't be considered a corral.
So does Mr. Tryon currently have a corral? Is it one horse that we're talking? Does he have a corral for that horse as well? And during the day, lets it go in his field, or is it just?
So the last time I saw the horse, a couple days ago, it was in the pasture further west of his house, a bigger area. I think Ms. Bowman said it was about 5 acres. That's the last place I saw the horse a few days ago.
And it's just an open field.
Just an open field. So I haven't, like I said, haven't seen it in that back area in the last few days.
Does he rotate, and maybe Ms. Bowman can answer this, does he rotate between that front pasture that's between the homes and the back pasture in the back?
Has the water trough been placed there yet? So it's been in a different location so far. Okay. On the legal side, there was the question about the other side. That's probably a conversation that maybe Mrs. Bowman needs to have with Lynn. So Lynn's been out of town, and the county attorney, Christian Briner, has been pretty busy with the prosecution things going on in the county. So I think that's probably why you haven't had the call. But Lynn now is back and could, regarding that. So I think the challenge for us, and maybe could explain how the codes evolve and how they come into play, is we have a planning commission it's a board that's appointed by the commissioners, us, and they make recommendations to us. And so our planning department goes through, and there are lots of different codes to develop properties and different things that have come into play over time. Even weeds in your neighbor's yard. We get lots of complaints about the neighbors that have weeds. So we have ordinances, and some ways we just don't have the staff to enforce some of those, like weeds. But this horse thing, I think, is if you look throughout the county, there are hundreds of places where there are horses that are fenced in pastures, that if we were to look at the definition of the corral and take it from what you're hoping to get, we would have hundreds of people that would have to move their horses, and I just don't think that's reasonable. Now, in your case, where there may be some health issues, there might be something that could be specific, to your place, and even try to work something out with Mr. Tryon. But I think it would be really hard for us to change that definition. I mean, and the change of the definition, there was a question in your mind about it, and that's why we need to reword that so that it does define a corral as a smaller area where the animals can't move around, and that's where you end up with the accumulation of the manure and urine and the smells that are much more offensive than animals that are able to move through a little larger area.
Can I ask another question? Where's the hay barn? Obviously, during the summer, he's probably got enough grass to pasture out the horse, but and maybe he doesn't. But he's going to have to, during the winter, buy hay to feed that animal. Where does he store the hay, and where does he feed the horse with that hay?
Apparatus, whatever you want to call it, that he puts all the bales of hay on. I don't know where he stores the hay, where he gets the hay.
So he buys the bigger bales and just puts it in one of the feeder troughs. Is that in that back pasture?
His intention is to move that up, clear right up close to our road. Right close to our road. So, animals feed, they poop, that's all they do. Water trough, and the feeder's going to be up right next to our house.
Is that something that he's told you that he's going to do? Okay.
And I guess for me too, that's there's always going to be people cohabitating by each other. There's always going to be stuff. But a case in point for personal use, when my wife and I moved to a home, there were sheep right next to our chain link fence, and they moved around through there. As it got bought out and more houses developed, the sheep obviously went away. But we were able to contact the person that had the sheep, and he worked with us. You would hope that, the good people of Carbon County could work together and come to a mutual agreement and kind of work something out. So it's a little frustrating to hear that's, it doesn't sound like anything's happened yet, but potentially could. It's a little disheartening to hear. So I think you're in good hands with Lynn, and hopefully can get going in the right direction. I think like Todd and Commissioner Jensen talked about with codes, it's hard for us to accommodate every single person in the county because everybody has a vision of how it should be. We take the best guidelines that we can come up with, good recommendations from everybody, and unfortunately we can't make everybody happy. We're willing to work and appreciate you coming and talking with us, but we'll see what we can do. It's hard to make any promises or guarantees, but we'll work as best we can with you.
We have a situation in Kenilworth, but it's a little different, where the property where there's animals is not part of the Kenilworth subdivision. It's just part of the unincorporated part of the county. And so that parcel falls into a similar thing like you have at your home, where the codes allow for some animals. And, you know, those folks don't like the smell, and there's challenges with that. But it's a legal use of the property. So that's the only one that I personally have had anyone ask about since I've been here. Todd, are you aware of any others? Yeah, so.
If you want to come up after, we can arrange a time to get together and talk about it some more.
Yeah, and I think I'd be happy to go meet with Mr. Tryon. I don't think it's a good thing for him to put a water trough right by your place. That could easily be moved further away. So we're happy to apply a little pressure for that. Okay. All right, thank you. No department reports. I guess we're done. Entertain a motion to.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.